Welcome to the deep dive. We're really glad you could join us today. Whether you're a gym owner, maybe an operator, a manager, salesperson, a gym entrepreneur, or a dedicated personal trainer, we think you'll find this valuable.
Absolutely. Today we're going to be digging into a really insightful white paper by Thomas. He's a real expert in the gym business. And our goal, like always, is to pull out those practical, actionable insights you can use, well, pretty much right away.
Exactly. This one tackles what Jim Thomas calls, and it's quite provocative, the most dangerous threat to your gym business.
Yeah.
And it's something that, honestly, a lot of really passionate gym operators just overlook. They're so focused on the inside stuff.
Yeah, the day-to-day.
Right. We're talking about obscurity. The silent killer, really. I mean, you could have the absolute best facility in town, the best programs, amazing staff.
Yeah.
But if nobody actually knows you're there...
What good is it? It doesn't matter. And Jim Thomas, he starts his paper with this story that just perfectly illustrates this. He talks about a gym owner, right, who finally called for help. And when asked why, the owner shared this experience from the night before.
Oh, yeah. What happened?
So a new member had just joined, loved the tour, signed up on the spot. The owner congratulated her, asked what she liked best, and her response was, "Oh, I absolutely love it. I had no idea you guys were even here. You're like the best-kept secret in town."
Oof, yeah.
And the owner just thought, I don't want to be the best-kept secret in town anymore.
Hmm.
That was the trigger.
Wow. That sends a chill down your spine, doesn't it? Because it's so common. In this business, fitness obscurity isn't just like a small marketing issue. It's the enemy.
It really is.
It means all your hard work, the programs, the pricing, the facility, the staff, it just doesn't count if people don't know you. Or maybe even worse, they don't remember you when they're finally ready to join a gym.
Exactly. That top-of-mind awareness.
You absolutely have to become known. And memorable, too.
So let's really unpack this core problem. Jim Thomas puts it very simply. You can't sell a secret.
Right.
You can't serve people who don't know you exist. And you definitely can't grow if nobody's thinking about you.
Sounds almost too basic, but it's profound.
It is. Because so many operators, like you said, pour all their energy into perfecting the product inside the gym.
Yeah, and this is where it gets really interesting because it feels almost wrong for a dedicated owner, right? We obsess over the programming, the latest equipment, making the place look great, retention strategy.
All crucial things, don't get me wrong.
Absolutely essential. But Jim Thomas argues they're just not enough if you're basically invisible. You could have the most beautiful gym, but if people drive by and still think you're under construction 2 years later...
You've got a big problem. And it's not your equipment, it's visibility. Jim actually outlines what obscurity looks like in the real world. And this might hit close to home for some listeners. It means the community, maybe large parts of it, just doesn't know your gym is there. Despite your sign, despite everything.
People driving by maybe assuming you're still getting ready to open?
Or worse, they just don't see you anymore. Becomes background noise. It also means your website, your social media.
Yeah.
Maybe it's outdated. Or just not active enough, not engaging.
Yeah, kind of like a ghost town online.
Right. Or you're just absent from local events.
Yeah.
Festivals, farmers markets, business gatherings, where your potential members actually are. And the big one, you haven't built enough brand familiarity. So when someone does decide, okay, today's the day, I need a gym, you're not the first name that pops into their head.
You're not top of mind.
You're not top of mind.
So what this boils down to for you, the listener, the gym owner or operator, Jim Thomas is really clear. Obscurity isn't just a marketing issue, it's a mind share issue.
That's a great way to put it. Mind share.
You need to occupy that space in people's heads. When they think health, fitness, gym in your town, your name needs to be right there, instantly. It's about being consistently present in their world, long before they even think about walking through your door.
Okay, so that's the problem laid bare. Pretty sobering stuff. But the good news is, Jim Thomas doesn't just diagnose. He prescribes the cure. He gives really concrete strategies to fight back against obscurity and become that first choice.
All right, let's get into those. What's the first step?
The first one is maybe a bit surprising. He puts a huge emphasis on the role of a field marketing rep. He actually says this person could potentially be the single most powerful individual in your entire growth strategy.
Wow. The most powerful. That's a big claim, more than, say, a top salesperson.
Well, think about their focus. It's entirely external. Their full-time job, or even part-time, is purely about generating visibility and, crucially, foot traffic, getting people to the gym.
Okay, so not just handing out flyers at the supermarket entrance.
No, far more strategic. Imagine someone whose sole purpose is active, outward-facing engagement. Jim outlines things like attending Chamber of Commerce events, maybe even hosting one, networking constantly with other local businesses.
Building real relationships.
Exactly. Coordinating specific programs like Member for a Day, outreach to local employers, bringing their staff in for a trial, building those direct relationships with nearby businesses for mutual benefit, cross-promotion, referrals.
And he gets even more specific, right? Like physically being out there.
Oh, yeah. Setting up visibility booths, engaging ones, not just a table at local festivals, community days, farmers markets, wherever people gather.
Yeah.
Directly inviting employees from nearby offices for a special trial offer.
I like that direct approach.
And even things like delivering branded giveaways, good quality ones, like water bottles or stress balls, not just cheap pens to other service businesses. Salons, chiropractors, you name it. Connecting with schools, PTAs, local teachers. Embedding the gym in the community fabric.
That's a full plate. What about the return on that? Because hiring someone costs money.
That's the kicker. Jim Thomas highlights the ROI. He argues this role often has a very low relative cost compared to traditional advertising, but generates extremely high visibility. It builds trust, generates qualified referrals, things ads struggle with. He basically says you can't afford not to have someone doing this, even if it's just part-time to start.
You can't afford not to. That's powerful. It reframes the cost as an essential investment.
Precisely. It's about proactive relationship building, not just passive advertising.
Okay, so having a dedicated person is strategy 1. What's next in Jim Thomas's playbook?
Strategy 2 builds on that community idea. Actively leveraging local partnerships. Your town is already full of businesses serving the exact people you want as members. Why not work together?
Symbiotic relationships, he calls them.
That's the term. Creating these mutually beneficial connections that fuel your lead pipeline, often at very low cost. It's about getting warm, qualified leads through trusted sources.
Makes sense. So who are these ideal partners we should be thinking about?
Think about the natural fits. Hair salons, nail salons, people focused on self-care. Juice bars, smoothie shops, obviously aligned with health. Chiropractors, massage therapists dealing with physical well-being.
Sports stores, PT clinics.
Exactly. Physical therapists, nutritionists, anywhere your ideal member might already be spending time and money, they trust these businesses already.
Okay, and what kind of activities can you actually do with these partners? It's not just putting flyers on each other's counters, is it?
No, it can be much more creative and effective. Simple things like email swaps, you promote them to your list, they promote you to theirs. Blog post exchanges. Social media cross-promotion is a no-brainer. Easy to do, extends your reach.
What about in-person things?
Absolutely. Host in-club vendor days where a partner can set up a small booth. Run joint gift card raffles or giveaways. You could co-host a wellness fair, combining your audiences for a bigger draw, or set up formal refer and receive campaigns where both sides benefit from sending clients back and forth.
Lots of low-cost, high-impact ideas there. It's about collaboration, not competition.
Precisely. Extending your reach exponentially through shared audiences.
Okay, strategy 3. This one feels familiar, but maybe with a twist. Social media.
Right. And Jim Thomas's point here isn't just be on social media. We all know that. His emphasis is relentless consistency. Show up every single day. His mantra is, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present.
Not perfect, just present. I like that. Takes the pressure off a bit.
It does. Because that familiarity, seeing your name and face consistently, that's what builds trust. And visibility drives traffic online and offline.
So beyond just posting, what kind of content does he recommend that actually connects with people instead of just feeling like an ad?
He really leans into authenticity and value. Share real member success stories, photos, short interviews, transformations. Those are incredibly powerful. Feature your staff, birthdays, a little bio, what they love about fitness. Humanize your brand.
Makes the gym seem less intimidating, maybe.
Exactly. Post motivational quotes, sure, but also genuinely useful fitness tips. Quick workout ideas, nutrition facts. Show behind-the-scenes stuff, setting up for a class, unboxing new equipment. Just the daily life of the gym makes it feel real.
What about engaging with people?
Crucial point he makes. Don't just post and run. Do shout-outs to other local businesses you partner with. Offer sneak peeks of upcoming classes. Run polls, go live for Q&A sessions, and most importantly, respond to comments. Engage in conversations. That's where connection happens.
So it's not just broadcasting, it's building a community online. Real stories, real people, consistent voice.
That's the goal. Build that loyal audience, become a familiar, trusted presence in their feed.
Okay, that leads nicely into strategy number 4, hosting weekly events and promotions.
Yes. Jim Thomas calls events simply excuses to invite people in and keep members talking. It's about creating a constant stream of reasons for people, members and non-members alike, to interact with your gym, keeping the energy up.
Excuses to invite people in. I like that framing. So these aren't just member parties.
Some are for appreciation, but many are designed specifically for outreach. Think about things like Free Guest Fridays. A classic for a reason gets new faces in the door with very low commitment. Or a whole Bring a Friend week. Incentivize your members to become your marketers.
What about attracting different demographics?
Good question. He suggests things like family workout days. Great way to show you're community-oriented. Launch events for new transformation challenges, create urgency, and a clear starting point for prospects.
Remember BBQs for attention.
Right, builds community. And class sampler weeks are fantastic. Let people try out different things, HIIT one day, yoga the next, maybe boxing. It reduces the fear of commitment.
And the key is consistency, right? Making these regular occurrences.
Exactly. Each event needs branding, promotion across email and social, and a clear goal buzz leads referrals. It keeps your gym top of mind, creates ongoing reasons to talk about you, and fights that obscurity monster week after week.
It's about creating a rhythm of activity. Okay, what's the final strategy Jim Thomas recommends?
The fifth one circles back to that community idea in a big way. He stresses that your gym doesn't need a Super Bowl ad.
Huh, probably not in the budget anyway.
Right. It needs roots, deep roots in the local community. It's about becoming seen as an integral part of the town, not just another business selling something.
Being part of the fabric, you said earlier. I like that. How do you build those roots?
Through active participation and contribution. Think about sponsoring a local Little League team or an adult softball league. Your banner's there, families see you supporting kids, host events that serve the community, blood drives, charity fundraisers, maybe a holiday toy drive. It brings people in for a good cause.
Using your space for good.
Exactly. Offer your space for free to local networking groups or community meetings during off hours. Simple, but builds immense goodwill. Get your staff together and volunteer as a team at a town cleanup day or a local festival. Be visible as contributors.
And showing appreciation.
Yes. Celebrate local heroes, first responders, teachers, nurses with special offers or appreciation days. It's genuine and gets noticed.
It really shifts the perception, doesn't it, from just a gym to a community partner.
Absolutely. When people see you giving back, contributing, not just selling, they remember you differently. They trust you more. Which leads to a great question for you listening. What's one thing, maybe even a small thing, that stands out right now as something you could do to get more involved in your community this month?
Yeah, doesn't have to be huge, just a first step.
Mm-hmm.
So, wrapping this up, the core message from Jim Thomas is stark but clear. So many gyms are doing great things inside.
Great programs, staff, pricing.
But they're suffering silently. Why? Because nobody knows they exist. That best-kept secret thing isn't a compliment.
It's a red flag. A huge one. It signals low visibility, a weak pipeline of new members, and ultimately a brand that's just forgettable.
And in today's market, forgettable is fatal.
Jim is very clear. Visibility isn't some optional add-on. It is survival. And the answer isn't always just throwing money at a new ad campaign. It's about consistent, deliberate action.
Okay, so for listeners wanting to crush obscurities starting, like tomorrow, what are those immediate, concrete action steps Jim Thomas recommends?
He lays out a few really tangible ones. First, assign or hire someone for that field marketing rep role, even if it's just part-time to start. Give someone dedicated responsibility for external visibility.
Dedicated time, crucial.
Second, make 5 partnership outreach efforts this week. Just 5. An email, a walk-in, a phone call. Start the conversation.
Manageable. What else?
Third, plan and promote one community-focused event within the next 10 days. Simple is fine. A free outdoor workout, a food drive drop-off point. Just get something on the calendar and promote it.
Create some buzz.
Fourth, post something of genuine value on your main social media platform every single day. Remember, presence over perfection. And fifth, absolutely critical, ask every single new member how they heard about you. And track that information religiously. You need to know what's actually working.
That data is gold. Okay, those are clear, actionable steps anyone can start on.
And look, if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed by this, or you're not sure exactly how to implement these strategies effectively for your specific gym,
Or maybe you need help with sales, operations, growth planning.
Jim Thomas and his team, FM Consulting, they specialize in exactly this. They help gyms overcome these challenges every day.
You can reach out to Jim Thomas directly. His number is 214-629-7223, or you can email him at jthomas@fmconsulting.net.
Remember that core message. You can't sell a secret.
Let's work on making your gym impossible to ignore. Thank you so much for joining us on the Deep Dive today. We really hope this look into Jim Thomas's insights gives you some immediate value and sparks some action for your business.